says you're streaming.
Good morning, friends. Welcome back to our daily Dharma. We had some technical difficulties yesterday. It was pretty interesting. First, my computer was it was acting out. And then even the technical support person's computer, they're also having problems with that. And at some point, it became apparent that, we're not going to do this today. And so it's just interesting even to go through that process. You know, it's 9:30, people are waiting, and like a little bit of anxiety. And then again, just at some point having to let go and just get congruent with reality, which was, we're not doing this today. And then it was fine, certainly didn't want, you all to be wondering what's happening and any confusion arising in your mind because of that. But we couldn't do anything about that, right? So I just had to practice with my conditions, which were, okay, this isn't going to happen today. But here we are. And the theme for this week, I'll be with you the rest of the week, is going to be practice in daily life. Looking at some specific ways that we can cultivate mindfulness during our day. And it's helpful. I think it's helpful to have some structures that we use to support the mindfulness practice. Sometimes I'll be talking to someone and they'll say, well, yeah, I practice mindfulness in daily life. It's like, okay, that's a good intention. And then the next question I might have for them is, how? How do you actually do that? And so having structures that support our mindfulness practice during the day will help to bring that intention to practice mindfulness to fruition. So very helpful to actually have some ways that we do it. And that's what I'll be going over this week with you. For today, I want to actually refer you back to a post I did, some number of months ago, where I talked about this practice of 10% slower. This intention and then this remembering, sati, right? To remember the actual translation of that term, that Pali term that we usually translate to mindfulness, it actually means technically to remember. So when we can remember this intention and then moving 10% slower, not real slow, 10%, which is not much, but it's enough to be different, to be slightly different. And then that's where it takes that really being in the moment to do that. So 10% slower, but you could also substitute other words in there, like 10% more smoothly, 10% more gracefully. You could also just substitute not rushing for that, 10% slower, or consciously not rushing. Because what happens is, there's lack of mindfulness. The mind goes into the future and thinks about the things we have to do either in the next hour, the next day, the next week, whatever, but it starts to think, I have to do that, I have to do that, and then that, and that. And there's not mindfulness of it. And so as these things start to pile up, I have to do this, this, and this, there's a sense of, wow, I really need to get going and get these things done because there's so much to do. And that's when then the body starts to rush. And so with mindfulness, we can start to notice when we're moving more quickly. And in that noticing, with that mindfulness, now there's a choice. Let's just pause, slow down, kind of disengage from that rushing. And furthermore, once we have some experience of what not rushing is like, what 10% slower is like, we have an experience, an experiential understanding of that experience of 10% slower. Now there's like a baseline. And so that when we do start rushing, it's actually we're gonna notice it more. Because before, if we have no experience of not rushing, then rushing is just how we go about our lives. And there's nothing to kind of make us notice that. But once we have a baseline or even just some experience of not rushing, then the rushing starts to be in contrast to that, and which is going to make us wake up to it more easily or quicker. So very helpful. That helps the mindfulness arise. Like, oh, this feels different, right? Oh, I'm rushing. This feels different than going smoothly or slower. And of course, the piece that is interwoven in this in 10% slower, of course, is body awareness, which in itself, we could kind of pull that out and just have that be a practice, a daily life practice. Yeah, remembering we have a body, being aware, somatically feeling our body. Whenever we can remember to do that, it's like we remember, we bring our awareness into our body. Whenever we can do that, we are in the present moment. Those two are always concomitant. If you are somatically aware of your body in that moment, you are in the present moment. Those two, they're wed together. The other thing that happens when we become aware of our body is that for that moment, we just kind of disengage from the intellectual process of the mind. Not that it's wrong or bad, but if we just spend all our time there, well, it's kind of exhausting, but also it's imbalanced. We don't want to be in the intellect all the time. It's fine to be there sometimes. And, sometimes we need to be there a lot when we're doing a project or whatever that really takes attention and thinking a lot through things. Again, that's fine, but can we balance that at times of being in the body? So when we feel our bodies, when we have a moment and remember, there's a body here, I feel it. It's like we disengage from the intellect and we balance that out. And it's really lovely to land back in the body. It's also an opportunity to really relax, bring some calm and settle. And I don't mean, sitting down to meditate. I mean, for 5 seconds, the length of time of maybe one in-breath and one out-breath, or 2 or 3 perhaps. But when you kind of get used to doing this, really just dropping into the body, it does not take long to really bring some refreshment and relaxation deeply, quite to the body. So body awareness, very intertwined with the 10% slower practice in daily life. And then just body awareness in general, very supportive. So let's do some formal practice now, right? Of course, the formal and the informal practice, both supporting, kind of giving rise to one another. So the mindfulness that we cultivate in the formal practice, we can then bring to bear on, any kind of informal practice that we're doing. In this case, being aware of the body, and particularly being aware of the body rushing. Okay. Just have a few minutes here to settle into the body. It's this gentle invitation, not a demand, just an invitation for the body to soften, relax, settle. The sense of the body settling. When things settle, they settle downwards, don't they? As you settle, you might become aware as things settle downwards, become aware of the contact between the body and the earth below, wherever those points of contact are. Having the intention that your connection with the body be a somatic one, so you're feeling it, and not thinking about it, or even visualizing it in your mind, but feeling sensations, and start at these contact points with the earth. It's a good place to feel the body. Usually the sensations there are pretty noticeable. And the more we can have the body soften and settle, relax, the more that will support the sensations of the body to be known. And the more we feel the sensations of the body, the more that supports deepening relaxation in the body. These two, feeling the body, relaxing the body, these two are very intertwined, mutually supportive. Body softens and settles downwards, but we also might have a sense of it widening and opening, especially the front of the body. If that feels right and kind of safe to you. And there's also a way that the attention can widen as well, soften and widen. So going from feeling the body just at those contact points with the earth, widening and opening to feel the whole body, feeling the whole body all at once, and just noticing where you do and don't feel sensations. And this is where we can very naturally start to come into contact with the sensations associated with the body breathing in and out. These are going to be happening in parts of the body where it's not in contact with anything. Mostly that's where we'll feel it. Remembering the sensations of the breath are just part of the overall sensational field of the body, not separate. Sometimes we might feel the sensations of the breath kind of quite discreetly, just themselves alone. Sometimes we might feel them mixing and swirling with the rest of the sensations of the body. No really right or wrong there. Just sometimes the attention will be drawn to one or the other. And each moment of being connected to the sensations of breath and body is a moment where mindfulness is present and being strengthened. Enjoying the moments of the awareness being connected to the breath and body. Again, this kind of pause or taking a break from the intellect, the processing of and engaging with thoughts. Not that they're bad, but again, just balancing and having some time where the intellect isn't so much in the driver's seat, but hanging out with the body and breath. And getting a sense of, even right in the moment, the benefits of our practice, feeling, intuiting, experiencing the wholesomeness and the benefits to our life, then we can express our wish that these benefits be extended outwards to others and all beings everywhere. Thank you for your practice. And so, when you remember, when sati arises, bringing in that intention 10% slower, dropping into the body, settling, relaxing. It's really a lovely way to move through this world. As I said before, when we're really in that space of being embodied in that place of presence, it makes doing just mundane things sacred. Not the thing itself is sacred, but the level of attention and the quality of attention that we're bringing to it is what makes it sacred. Because if you really practice with this, you'll start to see it's not just that it's slower, that there is a quality of kindness and care, basically of metta, that is really interwoven with approaching whatever we're doing in this way. So I wish you well with that. And tomorrow we'll explore some more daily life practices. And if all goes to plan, according to plan, we'll be in the meditation hall at the retreat center. Okay, have a good day. Be well till then. Bye.